So you've separated. You've gone from one shared home to two separate ones. And right away, this huge financial question pops up when it's time to sell. Can you both protect your new homes from a massive tax bill? Well, the answer comes down to one really critical tax rule, and we're going to break it all down for you. And this is the million-dollar question, sometimes literally. Getting this right can save you an absolute fortune in capital gains tax. But here's the thing, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It all, and I mean all, comes down to how the government sees your separation. I mean, this scenario is so common, right? A relationship ends and suddenly you're in two different homes. But what you might not realize is that this creates a major financial puzzle. And you've got to ask why. Well, it's because when it comes to your biggest asset, your home, the tax rules are super rigid. They just don't automatically change to fit your new life. So, to figure this whole puzzle out, you have to understand one fundamental piece of tax law. It's called the one residence rule. And honestly, it is the key to everything we're about to talk about. Okay, so what even is a principal residence? It's simple, really. It's the home you own and, actually live in. But the power of this little designation, it's huge. It can completely shield any increase in your home's value from capital gains tax when you go to sell. You could say it's probably the single biggest tax break a Canadian homeowner can get. And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. For any tax year, the law looks at a married or common law couple as one single unit. Just one. And that unit, it only gets to designate one property as its principal residence. Not one for each of you, just one for the couple. Okay, now here's where things get tricky. And this is the little detail that catches so many people. You're in different houses, so you think, hey, we're separated, right? Makes sense. But here's the problem. In the eyes of the taxman, just living apart is not enough. The law makes a really big distinction between being informally separated and being formally separated. So look at this. It lays out the two paths perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your informal separation. Yeah, you're living apart, but the tax system still sees you as one unit. And you're stuck sharing one tax break between your two homes. But look over on the right. If you have a formal, written agreement, boom, the law now treats you as two separate people. And this right here is the key. You can each claim your own principal residence. Now, a question I hear all the time is, but wait, what if my new house is only in my name? It's a great question, but check this out. It doesn't matter if each home is in one person's name or if both of your names are on both titles, maybe for a mortgage or something. The answer is still the same. If you don't have that formal agreement, it just doesn't matter. You're still stuck with one single exemption for the two of you. So you might be thinking this is all bad news, but the most important thing to get is that there is a way to unlock those two exemptions. It has nothing to do with who owns what property. It's all about your legal status. And the tool that makes it all happen? It's that formal agreement. And this right here, this is literally the magic phrase, pulled straight from the Income Tax Act. This is the official exception to the rule. It says a couple can claim separate residences, but only if, and this is a big if, they live apart for the entire year and have either a judicial separation or a written separation agreement. Okay, so what do you actually have to do? Here are the steps. First, you need one of two things. Either a judicial separation, which comes from the court, or, and this is way more common, a formal written separation agreement that you've both signed. Now listen closely to this next part because it's critical. That agreement has to be in place for the entire tax year, the whole thing. It's not something you can backdate. So if you sign it in, say, June, you can't claim separate residences for that year. You have to wait for the next full year to start. All right, I know that was a lot to take in. So let's just boil it all down to the key takeaways, the things you absolutely have to remember to protect your assets. So let's recap. First, the default rule is simple. One couple gets one principal residence exemption. That's it. Second, just living in different houses does not change that rule. And third, it doesn't matter whose name is on the title of the house. The only thing that changes the game is that key, a formal written separation agreement. And finally, and this is so important, that agreement has to be valid for the full tax year to count. We're talking January 1st all the way to December 31st. So let's just end on this thought. For most of us, our home is our single biggest asset. And that principal residence exemption, that's your most powerful weapon to protect its value from taxes. So now that you know how the rules work, you really have to ask yourself, is your current separation status putting all of that value at risk?